Okay, preseason conditioning. I go on binges on this stuff, and I'm on another one. So trying to put a series together, but I'm kind of random about it. So I did just a video on one leg stands and how they can benefit skiing, because balance is so critically important. And one leg stands, is it the tree pose, or mountain pose, tree pose? Yeah, where you got one leg up. Okay, so it's really, really good for skiing. I'll teach about it. Pick your variation. I like to flex and keep this muscle system flexed. It's part of that interior muscle system. Interior rotation, adduction. So you can get away with not really using that when you have your foot up against, up in your groin. It can be flexed, but not quite as much as I like when you're having to use the hamstrings and all that to pull it up. So pick your poison. You can do it down here too. Depends where you are. Okay. We'll move a lot. So we're looking for straight body. We don't want the hip sagged out like that. We want the hip underneath us. And one of the cues when we are in alignment is you can feel pressure into your foot ball mounds, the big toe ball mound, the pinky toe ball mound, and the heel. You can feel pressure, so you can move around and adjust to where you're balancing on all three of those. And for skiing, I like, if you're going to be heavy for this session, be heavy on the inside, the big toe and the heel. Okay, just a slight bit, but all three should be working. Okay, so my focus will change throughout all this. And what I'm going to do is I want to just tune into my feet. Grip my feet. Spread the toes. Make your feet strong. So the foot you're standing on, make them strong. And then your ankle, think about that ankle being strong and stable. Feeling the pressures, balance between the heel and the toes. Right going through the arch. Your calf is flexed, your shin is flexed. Just slightly gripped. Your quads and your hamstrings, the quads and the hams are flexed. Hips are flexed. Okay? And we're not really trying to be up like this for this move. We're trying to level the hips. Push this down and back. Flatten the front so we're facing everything forward. My glutes flex. Hams are flexed, the glutes, pelvic core muscles that go down into the floor of the pelvis. My belly pulling up and in. You'll feel it kind of line up your back instead of being sagged and arched in the back. Pulling it up and in. Sagged and arched. Pulling this belly up and in. Okay? Then move up, spread the chest. All while keeping a focus on the balance. Spread the chest. If you want to use your ski poles upside down so they don't scratch the floor, you can use them to help you with balance so you don't have to come out of it too much. But come out when you need to. This is a fatiguing move, exercise to hold for a time. Okay. Now spread back. Breathing into the chest. So skiing, I read something recently that we learn better when we're activating balance motor skills. I read an article, gosh, I should publish it, I just scanned it. But it was back in the 70s, a doctor came up with this exercise program. He created his own balance board. And it's a motor skills thing. They get on a balance board and then they try to throw bean bags through a hole or Somehow these motor skills are tied to learning ability, retention ability. That was my gather. I didn't read it in detail. Kind of a skimmer type of guy, but I'm chatting. So balance is really good. So balance for skiing. So when we carve a turn and skid a turn, open parallel, where you just skidding the turns around and in parallel fashion, or if you're completely set on edges, carving from one edge sets to the other, we balance 90% of the time, 90 to 100 on the outside leg, the big toe and the heel ball mount. Okay, those are really activated for that balance. So we have to be able to not just balance here, we have to be able to balance in motion. We have to be able to gauge and look around and see what's coming and plan and take data in while we're balancing on one foot. So if we can practice that at home with a simple 5-minute yoga practice once in a while, then it's going to help our balance on the skis. I know it will. I'm watching myself in the mirror, so it looks like I'm talking to me. You're down there, but that's okay. So change what you do. Focus on different muscles. So as I do this, I'm pulling my lower latissimus dorsus and mid lats, lower lats down and back to the lower corner. When I pull on this, I'm pulling my lats, flexing my lats to help support my arms. Okay, my trapezius, the lower trapezius, that's it. From this pulls down and back. I have a problem in this right shoulder. So when I'm getting a little shake right now, so I'm reaching that, I'm really, really affecting the nervous system. So it's waking up my balance, all these motor skills that create this balance. They're fine little motors, they're twitching. It's fine little muscles. You know, muscles aren't just one strand. There's muscle all the way around. And so motor skills that are really well developed, they've used those muscle systems all the way around to create stability, lateral stability, fore-aft stability. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. And we'll go in and do a session where we're going to actually move this leg around and simulate some ski movements. Okay, but right now that heats me up really good. You know, it's probably 2 or 3 minutes, so I try to go for 5. Oh, looks like 8 from the start. Well, anyhow, go for 5. Take breaks if you need to. Use poles to help balance, but develop the ability in your foot to support your weight. And definitely important to be looking around, not just stare at one spot. That's a good way to get started. Stare at something. But you need to work gripping the muscles all the way through your body, study that, and then start developing the ability to glance around as you do this exercise. So when you can glance around and change your data input and kind of if your level of the head changes and stuff like that, and your muscle systems are keeping balance during that, that means you're developing some autonomy, some automatic abilities to balance when interruptions come in the terrain, in your skiing. Because there's bumps and this and that and all kinds of stuff. You don't get to just stand on a hard floor. So anyhow, practice. Do it a little bit. Check with your doc though how long you hold it, because it can create a lot of tension, and if you're holding stuff out of posture, be careful. Manage your body, mind pain, and how much stress you can take. Work up to it. And I hope you book me for a lesson, or book a level 3 instructor. So that's really the key. Is I want people to be able to do these exercises, wake up these muscle systems, and then take a lesson with a level 3 instructor that understands balance and the foot and how the foot is associated with the balance. Okay, because this one's We got a lot of focus on the foot. We're going to just anything like that with the level 3 instructor at your favorite ski resort. All right, peace.